This is Aburi Amanfrom. We are here to start with the fence wall excavation. So this is the setting lies. Our stone and sands are also ready here, and the machine tool is here. So we are about to start. This is just the beginning. So at the close of day, you see how far this one will take us. So this is it.
Hello, everybody. It's Gigo here, and welcome back to another motivational video of building a house here in Ghana. So, today's episode is all about fence wall construction here in Aburi Amanfrom. So, the person you heard earlier on is Pele, who is our supervisor and also our quantity surveyor here at Gigog Production Group, and he is monitoring this fence wall, to be constructed. So as you can see, we've begun with the excavation here at Aburi Amanfrom. And I mean, talking about Aburi Amanfrom, it looks like the team is going to be here for a while. I mean, at least 10 to 20 years. I think the team will be actively working at this location. So I mean, I would even suggest that we also kind of buy one plot here to build like a house for the team, so that I mean they will be sleeping there and just easy go to work, because this place is developing so fast to the point that I mean, as we are talking now, we have like five houses, which is like, I mean, which is confirmed that we have to build at this location, and we know that there will be more coming as we progress. So watch out for the Aburi Amanfrom projects on Gigo Production Group. I really have to look for a way to document, the whole structure that we will be building here, creating playlists for every single house here. I mean, it's going to be a little bit confusion. So I'm trying to create just one playlist for all the projects that we will be doing at this particular, place. I mean, when it comes to story building, single structures, bungalows, talking about undergrounds, and all that. I mean, it's going to be exciting, right? So watch out for our Aburi Amanfrom, project series, right? But I mean, we already put up one structure already, right? If you go to my playlist, you will see that project. So this is the fence wall that we are constructing for one of our clients, who has been following us for some time. Now, I don't have much information about this particular, I'll say fence wall or this particular project. Like I said, I personally don't deal with clients. I mean, it is always the initial message. They ask me what they are looking for, and then I forward them to the right people. And you deal with a team yourself, right? I trust them so much. So if something goes wrong, you can always come to blame me. You can let me know, and I will come in and make sure that everything is back on track. But if everything is going well, and I mean you are happy with them, you can just keep working with them. And I mean, so far, I haven't had any issue. I mean, there have been little bits, some misunderstanding here and there, but I mean, it always goes back that the client, they do understand each other, which is, I mean, I will also use this video to also put up some of those challenges that, or some of those, this misunderstanding that sometimes we do have with clients when it comes to construction. So before we get into, some of these things that I would like to share with you guys, let's look at the fence wall that we are coming to put out. So we all know that we have two types of fence wall, right? When it comes to the joint, which is, what holds the walls together. So with this particular one, we have the mixture of the block pillars and the actual pillars, right? So we went to the land, we've examined the land, and we know where, where there's stamina in the ground, and where, there will be a little bit of force. As you can see, the land slopes downward, has a gentle slope. So there will always be pressure at the downside. So at that place, we will be putting up a pillar, right? Or let me say a column pillar with iron rods, right? And then the one at the top, we will use block as the pillars.
We are on with the concrete casting. The rod is being mended. We told you for two sizes, we put the pillars and then two sizes. Because they are solid, we also use a block pillar. So these are the round concrete is ongoing.
Yeah, once again, sorry for the noise. This is some of the reason why most of the time I always have to do a voiceover because of the construction. It's always noisy at construction site, so please bear with us. So that was Engineer Sammy for you, giving us the update. And as you can see, we have our steel benders on site to form the pillars, right? The iron rod pillars, and then, like I said, we will be using the block as pillars also to reduce cost. I think the plot size will be 1 acre. So can you imagine that we have to do the whole plot, with the iron rod pillars, right? To hold the blocks. I mean, it can be capital intensive, right? So that's why it's always important that, we go to your site to examine the land, the nature of the land, and see how best we can help, to reduce costs during construction. So when they went, we decided that, two side of the fence wall, we will use the iron rods, as the pillars, and then the other two side we will use the blocks, because since they are all solid blocks, I mean, we will use the blocks to support, because we've taken notice of the sloping of the land. That means that when it rains, there's pressure, of the rainwater towards one side, so that needs to be strengthened and all that, right? So you can see for yourself the nature of the land. It is slopy land, and I mean, when this will bring us to cost estimate in construction, right? I mean, sometimes people will call you that how much will it cost to build like a 3 bedroom house, a 4 bedroom house, and sometimes it's a bit challenging to really come up with a price if we haven't seen your land, right? And also you have to understand that most estimate is based on a flat land. So let's imagine that this owner, wants us to build a house, and the owner haven't provided any drawing and asks us how much will it cost for a 3 bedroom house, right? We will give an estimate based on the flat land. We coming on site and seeing that your land is slopey changes the cost in the foundation, right? And these are some of the misunderstanding that sometimes we do face. And sometimes we always tell you that we can only give a provisional estimate based on what based on recent projects. And when you are ready, we can come up with an actual estimate, which is we having your architectural drawing with all the measurements in there. We can look at it and come up with a cost estimate, which can serve as a guide, right? I mean, the estimate we provide is not just about, the cost. It's a guide to let you know how many bags of cement you need at every stage, how many sand you need. So even if you are not building with us, you can still use that estimate, because it comes with quantity of materials and then the prices. So even if the prices changes, you still have the quantity, and the quantity doesn't change, so you can still use it, building with any other group or any other builders around, right? So that's why we like to provide, that estimate. Not necessarily that's how much it's going to cost you, because construction will take more than 6 months. And I can tell you for a fact that after 6 months, the prices of materials changes. If you are lucky, you can get some discounts, but unfortunately in Ghana, the prices never comes down. It always goes up, right? So that is it with the cost estimate. And I would also like to say one thing here, that you know 3D drawing doesn't give us a clear idea of how much it will cost you to build a house. Sometimes people come with a 3D drawing with no measurement. It is also difficult to use that to calculate for a real cost. Sometimes people don't understand when we tell them that we cannot use this to give an estimate. Sometimes they get annoyed because they think that we don't want to do it. But the thing is that we want to be at least 90% accurate with our cost estimate. So please take note when you get your drawing from your architects. Some architects will not put the measurement in there because some of them they want the contract, some also maybe you haven't finished paying them for their work, so they won't come up with a full plan for you. They'll just give you something and with no measurement. We've also experienced that a lot, right? That a lot. So please pay attention when you get your planning. Make sure that all the measurements are there in the foundation, because that also guides us to be able to do the calculation for the cost, estimate. And please, let's also take notice of the sizes, of these houses that we are building. At least let's be sure of the square foot, the meter, and the centimeters and whatever which it is in the drawing. Make sure you understand it before you bring it for cost estimate, because some of this, planning, designing that we are getting, the house are very huge. And this is because the owner will tell the architect, oh, I have a 1 acre of land. I want to build a 5 bedroom or a 3 bedroom on it. The architect may think that you want to at least occupy half of the 1 acre. So the drawing or the house is sitting on two plots, which makes it very huge. So when it comes and then we provide the estimate, the client will get shocked, because according to the client, it is just a 4 bedroom house, on a ground floor, or maybe a 3 bedroom house on a ground floor, not knowing or not understanding the measurement in the architectural drawing. And also notice that the bigger the house, the bigger the cost of construction, right? I mean, there are some houses that we built, and then when we're done with the foundation, the owner was like, yeah, this is too big. But that is the measurement in the drawing. So also please take notes. It is very, very important, because if you have a big house, you have to buy more tiles, more paint, POP works is more, everything. The finishes is always more. But that's another subject for another day. So then I think this brings us to the end of today's episode. I really do appreciate your time spent here on the channel. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and I will see you in my next episode. Let's do it.